Is your wife your friend or your rival? I'm Leslie Dories, your marriage coach, and how you answer that question is really going to be a key to how your marriage is working. Many years ago, I had a client who basically said, if I do what my wife wants, she wins. And this is not an uncommon viewpoint in marriage. The idea that somehow being generous and kind is a problem. And I was thinking about this because my husband and I just recently celebrated our 39th wedding anniversary. We've actually been together for 40 years and we are friends. We like each other. We like doing things with each other. He will do things with me just because I want to do them. He doesn't have any interest in them, and vice versa. Because we're a team, we look at each other as partners through this thing called life. And people go, well, Leslie, you've been together for 40 years. Of course you're this way. It's like, no, 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 no. He and I have actually been pretty in line with each other since day one. When people talk about how long it takes to fall in love and when do you know somebody you should marry somebody, I say I'm the wrong person to ask, because had my husband proposed within 24 hours of our getting together, I would have said yes. It took him 3 months, but okay. And part of that reason is because early on, it was like he finished my sentences and I felt very safe with him. And even to this day, one of us will will see something and one of us will make a comment. The other one will go, I was just thinking that same thing. It tends to freak us out and freak our friends out too, but it's actually very real. And it doesn't mean that we don't ever disagree. It doesn't mean we're carbon copies of each other. What it means is that we see each other as friends, as allies, except when we're playing disc golf, but that's a whole nother conversation. But the truth of the matter is that a lot of men, and with ladies, I know you're not going to believe this, but a lot of men are really kind of scared of their wives. They're afraid of your emotions. They're afraid of they've been told that you're better at relationships, so they always feel kind of in a one down position. A lot of them feel like their wives overtalk them, and I'm guilty of this. I have the capacity to overtalk my husband. I once overheard him tell a friend that he could never win an argument because he was married to a woman and a therapist. And when I heard that, I took that very much to heart because I didn't want him to feel like that. But a lot of men do. And the way in which they handle it, the way in which you handle this, is going to set you up for success or failure. One way that men handle their feeling less than their wives is to become overbearing and dominant and controlling, which is not good relational behavior. But the flip side is that they become very agreeable and they appease the goddess, right? Because they don't know how to handle her disappointment, her upset. Even if she's not, even if your wife isn't upset with you, it's one of those things where you feel like somehow you failed. And a lot of women do not know this. And so this idea of becoming a milquetoast, just saying yes, happy wife, happy life, that's part of this dynamic, right? And what those things do is they send you away from each other. They don't draw you together. Sometimes you feel that there's a rivalry around money, around the kids' affection, around who's doing what around the house. Instead of working as a team, you set each other up in antagonistic ways. And I'm going to tell you, I don't know if that sounds appealing to you. It does not sound appealing to me. I don't want to be in competition with my partner. I want to be in connection with him. And this is one of the reasons why connection gets lost, is because there hasn't been a way to work together And one of those ways is you have to be willing to be honest with yourself and then with your partner. And there are lots of ways to address what's going on in a relationship. Most of the ways that are done are neither productive nor healthy, which is why so many people are either divorced or living in less than marriages that they're settling for because they don't know, because they don't want to rock the boat. And the alternative, divorce, is not is not something that they want. But the alternative is not to just settle, it's actually to make your relationship healthy. So if you're interested in doing that and you don't want to be quote unquote afraid of your wife anymore, then I invite you to get in touch with me, because there are relatively simple, straightforward solutions. Now, please mind you, I'm not saying they're easy, but once you get into that habit, once you start seeing your partner, your wife, as your friend, not your rival, things can get a whole lot better. So hopefully you found this helpful, and get in touch if you like. If you find this interesting, please subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends. And until next week, stay loving.